For this project, I'm going to be synthesizing all of the important information that we have covered in this course about children's literacy. The first topic that we will be discussing is the Big Five. The Big Five consist of phonological awareness, phonics, vocabulary, comprehension, and fluency. Phonological awareness is the ability to know sounds in language. If a teacher is asking one of her students to make the sounds make, the student should be able to reply that the sounds make the word fall. This must be mastered in order to be successful in other factors of literacy. Phonics is the relationship between written letters and their sounds. This is something that students can struggle with because they are familiar with sounds, but they don't understand what letters go together to create that sound. A good example is the digraph WH. If a teacher were to ask her student to spell the word whale, the student would most likely spell the word WALE. Students have a lot of trouble with digraphs because they don't understand that the letters WH represent the sound W, the W sound in the word whale. This is why phonics is an important component in the Big Five in fluency, so that students are able to learn the difference between letters that are alone and diphthong letters that make a sound to form another word. Text comprehension is the ability for a student to understand what they read. Comprehension is important so that a student can answer questions about the text and have discussions about it. Comprehension strategies occur within the text, about the text, and beyond the text. A student fully comprehends the text. They should be able to ask questions during and after the reading. Vocabulary. There are 4 components that fall under vocabulary: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. The highest component in vocabulary is listening. A person does not have the ability to speak in order to listen. You are constantly listening to what happens around you, whether it is listening to someone else's vocabulary or listening to the words on TV. Another component to vocabulary is reading and writing. Our writing vocabulary is the smallest component of vocabulary because a lot of vocab that you hear is hard to use in your writing. Fluency is the ability to read with expression at a proper pace, which is not too fast or too slow, to read accurately, which means to make little to no mistakes, and to understand what is being read. A good tool to use in the classroom while students are working on fluency are to have small PVC pipes in the shape of a telephone. This way, the students can speak into one end and hear themselves on the other. This allows for them to focus on all of their components of fluency. Now we're going to be discussing balanced literacy. Balanced literacy consists of 4 different components, which are interactive read aloud, shared reading, guided reading, and independent reading. Interactive read-alouds are when the teacher reads a book to the entire classroom. The book chosen for the interactive read-aloud should engage the students' interest. While the teacher is doing the interactive read-aloud, the students are able to make predictions, they learn new vocabulary throughout the book, and they can read aloud, and the read-aloud can activate the students' background knowledge. Shared reading models and teaches reading strategies. This is done by providing readers who may struggle with extra support, and it can build their fluency. Guided reading is when the teacher gathers 4 to 5 students that are at the same reading level at a table in the shape of a rainbow. The teacher will ask questions about the reading prior, during the reading, and after the reading. This allows for students to think beyond the text. Independent reading occurs when a student is completely reading alone. This can consist of reading alone and following along in a text while listening to an audio recording of a text. This is good for students to learn new vocabulary and their comprehension of new texts. Now it's important to discuss how balanced literacy connects to the Big Five. Every component in the Big Five connects to balanced literacy. Phonological awareness connects to all of the components of balanced literacy because it involves hearing the sounds in words and breaking down words. Guided and independent reading connect to comprehension, vocabulary, and fluency because guided reading focuses on the students reading fluently and how they comprehend the story, and independent reading allows them to practice their fluency and teaches them new vocab and practice their fluency. In interactive read aloud, the students are participating in all of the components of the Big Five. In order to have balanced literacy in the classroom, we need to master the Big Five components of literacy.